Welcome to Liverpool. We are here at the ACC Arena, and for the first ever FIFAe World Cup featuring Football Manager, our action has begun. It is happening for the first time ever in this football-mad city, and we're about to hear from our managers very soon. I'm joined by Will Brazier. As I mentioned, Will, we have started playing games. Games have happened. The whistles have been blown. How are we finding it?
It was like exam results day in here earlier. We were sat round, I was looking at reaction as the teams were drawn, and I think the people in the sporting group were quite happy. The action started, games have happened, the mind games have begun as well, and it's going to be great to pick the brains of the managers right now. Yeah, that's what we're here to do, of course. We have got 4 groups, but this session is going to be all about Group C. But let's take an overall look at the groups that we're going to be hearing from throughout today. We've got 4 different press conferences that we're going to be doing throughout the day, of course. So Group C today, Sporting Club de Portugal, you mentioned. These are our 4 groups, though. We have, obviously, a Japanese challenge there of Yokohama F. Marinos. We'll hear from them later. Brighton and Hove Albion as a English top-flight challenge. Sporting Club de Portugal, as mentioned, we'll take a closer look at that group in a second. And then Dinamo Zagreb will be the next press conference after this one. So let's take a closer look at the Sporting Club de Lisbon group. Now, this is Sporting Club de Portugal, I should say. This is the guys we're going to hear from here. We've got 5 different countries, Will. One of them we're not going to hear from, actually, is Indonesia. They are here, I'm told. They're going to be taking part later, but we're not going to hear from them in this press conference. What do you expect these guys to be coming out with? Because we are 4 games in. I think all the talk before we started was about Jack Peachman. He was giving it big in the press conferences, saying he was going to win the thing. And I like that. We need the confidence. We need the villains. But also Florian from the French team. There's some tactics there that we need to delve into, because a lot of people saying that's the one.
Well, let's do it. Let's welcome our managers and get them up to the lovely press conference podium. Let's do it. So here they come. We actually have 2 assistant managers in there as well. We're going to be speaking on behalf of the team. It is a team game here. So we've got Jack Peachman leading the line there. He's the England representative. We have our manager from Poland, Patrick Zamirski. And we have 2 assistant managers. We have Adit from India, and we have Joel from France. So, guys, welcome. This is really a first in Football Manager history, a real-life press conference. First question, I'm going to come to our very own Statman Dave. Let us know who you'd like to ask it to.
Jack, obviously Sporting had great success playing a back 5. Ruben Amorim, 2 league titles. You've taken that system, you've screwed it up, and you've played a back 4. Talk to me.
Good question. Well, really, the team is set up for a back 3, if I'm being completely honest, but by moving Diamande to right back, it just opens up a few more options. Still light in a couple of areas, which, with the inability to do transfers, is a little challenging, but getting a tune out of the players, a couple of clean sheets, feeling pretty good about the back 4.
I think what's really impressive is the goal scorers. They've come from defence. Sebastian Coates is your top scorer.
Yeah, he got Player of the Month in the whole league. Yeah, he's getting a lot of goals from set pieces, few assists too. I think there's a lot of big, meaty men in Lisbon, and we're making use of them.
Cheers, Jack.
Next question, I'm going to come to Kev.
Just picking up on that, Jack, again, you've mentioned Coates there, and I've heard rumours from your assistant manager that you might have a Coates problem brewing. Are you expecting a player mutiny? Are you expecting him to have to move on? What's the plan?
Well, I'll be honest, it wasn't ideal that when I triggered a contract extension, because he had 1 year left, that he'd cry immediately. So we're kind of putting out a fire. I've told him he can leave in January. He's also our top goal scorer. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. 6 hours into tomorrow, I might have my head in my hands.
Not the only player you've had contract issues with, I hear, as well.
No, it doesn't help when the goalkeeper wants to be captain over Coates. So you got 2 players fighting for it, but it's part of Football Manager, it's part of football management, and at the moment we've got Happy Campers. He's just signed a new contract.
Will Brazier, I believe you've got a question for us.
Yeah, question for Patrick. Obviously, there's been a lot of attention in the draw, and obviously with the first questions there on the England perspective, do you think it's a bit disrespectful from the journalists, from the media, that there's not a lot of attention on all the other managers here?
No, and I'm not sure.
Yeah,
He seems happy with it. He seems happy with the
it's a
attention
big question
on
for the first question.
Chelsea, I believe you've got a question for us.
I have a question for India. You suffered the first loss of the tournament. Are you feeling the pressure regarding getting sacked?
No, not at all. Actually, we're just 1 point away from the top. So none of the big teams are performing as well as us as well. So it's okay. Benfica have suffered a draw, so they're 1 point ahead of us. And we tried a few things that didn't work in that loss, and we're learning from it, so it's okay.
What did you learn from that?
Sticking to what we know instead of trying out a lot of new things. We switched to a 4-2-2. Didn't work out for us. We're sticking to a 4-2-3-1 for now.
So what exactly would you do differently for the next match?
We've already started making a few changes. So our striker Victor Gyökeres wasn't working out. We changed his role. Probably he should be doing. I mean, he's doing better now. He almost backed the brace. One of his goals got disallowed in the last game, but he's doing fine now. So should be fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Zealand, I believe you've got a question.
I do. Hi. This question's for France. How do you feel that your manager has sent you up here to do the press conference as an assistant manager? That's a very classic football manager move. And, did he say anything to prepare you?
He sent me because, I'm very good at exercise. So no problem for that.
Thank you.
Benji, do you have a question for us?
Yeah, staying with France. Hello?
No problem.
Staying with France. You're using a 4-2-3-1. Lots of managers are. Is there a plan B? Is there a second tactic in the making?
No, our second strat is 4-3-4-3, sorry. And currently, the 4-2-3-1 is very good for us. We won 4 matches and we lost 0 match, sorry. And everything is good.
So far, so good.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
I'm going to follow up with a question for you there, if you don't mind, Joel. 21-0, you won a friendly, I think. 21 goals to 0.
Yes.
Are you arranging different friendlies to everyone else? Did you like that was a big result? Did you pick that friendly yourself, or was it the same fixtures these guys played?
Yeah, we make a good start. I saw India suffering after two days. But for France, for Team France, we are very, very confident, and we will make a good season. And I hope we will finish first ahead England.
I hate England, he thrown in there. Just throw that in at the end, I hate England. Classic press conference. You got a response for that, Jack?
I'll do my talking on the pitch.
Okay. How do you feel about France, though? We need to know.
Oh, well, they keep calling us their opponents. I don't see any opponents here, so feeling good.
Wow. Okay, great stuff. You guys probably are. You've got 3 teams on the stage there. They've got 4 wins from 4. So obviously it's just India that suffered that 1 defeat. But I think France, just 2 goals conceded, both in the same game. You've also only conceded 2, but in 2 different games. How important?
Different level.
What did he say? Sorry, say that again.
Different level.
Different level. Okay, fine. Need I say more? It's a very interesting format, though, isn't it, Jack? Because it's not necessarily about. You're not in the same league. It's not goal difference between yourselves. You've just got to win your league, haven't you?
Oh, for sure. I think the thing with this format is win games early, then you can kind of focus on trying to get through maybe some of the easier games if you've got a bit of a cushion a bit quicker. Everyone's kind of talked about it. I think getting to the first kind of summer transfer window is going to be super important tomorrow. I think it's nice for those of us who won 4 games to be able to get a good night's rest, not have to worry too much about tactics, and hopefully just continue with the momentum that we've already got.
Great stuff. Dave, you've got a question.
Got a question for Patrick. Obviously, big experience winning the Champions League with Everton. From that experience, what have you learned and brought into today?
Yeah, I've learned to use physical strikers. That's the best thing you can do in Football Manager, and also very fast wingers, obviously.
A lot of talk about Adama Traore and how he just changed the fortunes at Goodison Park. He's a player of big potential, but you got the best out of him.
Yes, I'm bringing him here too. As soon as I can, I'm bringing Traore.
Big player, big player. Michael's got some questions, I think, from the community. And anyone else in the audience, if you want to ask questions after, just raise your hand so we can come to you. But Michael, what have you got for us?
Sure. I have a question for Team India from Aliatic24 on Instagram. He's asking you, how does it feel to represent 1.4 billion people on a world stage for India? Do you feel the pressure?
I was feeling it yesterday, but today it's okay. I'm happy that we're able to represent just the 2 of us represents such a big nation with such a huge population. But it does pile on a bit of a pressure, but I think that the pride and the honor of doing it like overcomes the pressure. So I'm pretty happy with it.
Will's got a question for us. Will?
Question for Team India. I mean, you speak about the pressure. Obviously, there was some chat about maybe the sack race earlier, which you dismissed. But I came into the booth earlier and I said, how are you feeling? You just said, stressful. So how are you going to unwind tonight and prepare yourself for tomorrow?
Probably sleep well. Haven't slept well for the past 2 days, so probably sleep well, focus on our tactics, work on what we need to change in the team, work on the players that we need to sign. So probably we'll just work on Football Manager, even though that's not kind of unwinding, but I guess it's unwinding for us.
And obviously today was just a shorter session. Tomorrow the sessions increase. Is that sort of playing into that as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be 9 hours of just playing Football Manager, which is something that I've never done in my life. Like, I take breaks before, like, while playing Football Manager. So it's going to be weird for us, but we'll have to see how much we can fit in, and hopefully we don't need to go on vacation for a lot of games, because I don't like simming. So
I've got a question for all of you, actually, because Patrick, you just mentioned Adama Traore's top of your wish list. Obviously, no one signed any players yet, so if you weren't aware, we had sort of no transfer window in the summer, but come to January, you're going to get the chance to improve your squads. For each of you, who is your top of the list purchase? Jack, starting with you, who do you want to bring in?
Fellaini.
And can you tell us more?
He's a free agent, so I can sign him on the 2nd of September and register him immediately, so get him straight in the team.
Okay, so you don't have to wait for January.
No.
Will he start for you?
No.
Okay.
That'd be ridiculous.
So he's not going to make a big difference. What are the players you're going to bring in that are going to make a big difference?
Just a good question. I need a new goalkeeper. De Gea's sat there tempting as a free agent, but I don't think I'll go for him. But I think at striker depth is an issue. I think it's maybe forced anyone who was planning to use a 2-striker system to adapt. So, yeah, maybe a new striker.
Okay, Patrick, anyone else apart from Adama Traore?
I'm sure we have to bring a new goalkeeper. Yeah, the current goalkeeper is not good enough. We will probably go with David De Gea. He's the best free transfer pick.
Adit, who's on your Christmas list?
We've talked about Rooney Bagji. He's one of the big talents right now, and he has always been great on Football Manager since he's been on there. And we're actually also planning to sell players, so we want to maybe sell Marcus Edwards.
Why?
He hasn't been great for us.
He scored for you. I saw him score
He scored,
for you.
but
4 games in.
His decision making is abysmal for me.
I think your decision making is abysmal. And Joel, who's on your shopping list? Who are you getting in the January transfer window?
Maybe a new striker, but we got 2 big managers. We don't need new player.
Excellent stuff. Michael, I think you've got another question for us from the community.
Yeah, one more question for France from Josh Savage5 on Instagram. Will you prioritize youth or experience when building your squad?
What? Sorry.
Will you prioritize youth or experience when building your squad?
I think we can use the both, but currently we need a big, fast result. We will take experienced player. Sorry.
We've got another question from the crowd here. If you'd like to introduce yourself to the players.
Yes, you've got esteemed journalist Jack here. I've got another question for the other Jack over there. You've mentioned that Sebastian Coates is currently your top goal scorer. Are you worried that the fans might get onto you for your style of play, having a defender as your top goal scorer?
I mean, he's joint top, and the goals have been pretty spread. He's only got 3 goals. I think we've scored, we got a positive 13 goal difference. So it's nice to have the goals spread around. I'm sure other players will come into their own.
So you're not worried about any goal scoring issues at the moment?
No, not at all.
Nice, thank you very much.
Do we have any more questions from the crowd before we wrap things up? Well, Will's got one, I think, and we'll go to Benji afterwards. So, Will?
So Patrick and Jack, I saw your Europa League draws. Obviously, different fortunes for that. Starting with you, Patrick. Obviously, you had, I think it was Brighton in there, Villarreal. Obviously, they play such importance when it comes to the points. How are you feeling about that? And same question for you, Jack, as well.
It's a tough group, but Brighton might be out of our reach right now. But Villarreal is beatable, I think. It's gonna go fine. I hope so.
What about yourself, Jack?
I'll be honest, less than ideal to get Liverpool in the group stage. But you know what? It will make the victory all the more sweeter when we know we had the hardest route to win the Europa League this year, get the Champions League next year.
Coates hat-trick against his old club, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
Benji, you got a question for us?
Yeah, I'm sat just down from your assistant manager who tells me he's not been allowed to be involved at all yet. Obviously, we've got some assistant managers doing the press conference. Are you going to let Tom get involved at some point as your assistant?
Tom's here tomorrow. He just brings great vibes, does our Tom. Like he's a motivator. He's an energizer. When we're 8 hours into the stream and I feel miserable, he'll be doing something goofy behind me, and that's why he's here.
So he's a clown rather than an assistant, is that what you're telling me?
He can be both.
Have you got that, Tom? Have you got that? Thanks, Joe.
Right, I think we are going to wrap up our first ever press conference here. Thank you very much to the guys from Group C. We'll see you in action again tomorrow. Will, that is a world's first football manager press conference in real life. What did you make of it?
I absolutely loved it. I think they're all being very friendly now. It's all very cordial, but we've got 3-4 days left of this. I think we could be seeing some different answers by the end of the week.
Yeah, and by the end of today, we've got 3 more press conferences to come. Group D will be next. That's 5 p.m. UK time. So we're going to see you again for that one. Obviously, more action to unfold. That is our Dinamo Zagreb group. You can see the names of the players taking part in that, including our second English player, Aaron Falloon's got the home advantage in terms of the fact that we're in Liverpool, but obviously playing with a Croatian side. Do you see any clear favourites in that one for you, Will?
Well, again, I was speaking to Aaron earlier, and he's really sort of bringing on that sort of dynamo mentality and philosophy. He's been speaking to the candidate who's over here as well, so it's nice to see those different philosophies already been brought in.
Okay, so that is it for our first ever press conference here in real life at our first ever FIFAe World Cup featuring Football Manager. We're going to be back at 5 o'clock to speak to the guys from Group D. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you very soon.